Hey everybody, welcome to Business Planning Part 1. Today we are going to go ahead and talk about the Momentum Business Plan that is provided to you by Remax by the Lake. What we want to do is just walk through this. Those of you who have done this for a year or so or more, you'll recognize all of this information. We do this every year, but we feel like it is vital to your business to continue to use the budgeting plan. Every business does a budget and plans for the new year, and we feel that you should be no different. That way, as unexpected things pop up throughout the year, we are prepared and can readjust as necessary. Don't forget, you should be reviewing your business plan every quarter. That's right, 4 times a year, you should take a look and see if you are on target to complete your year where you want to be. Most people in real estate will find that, your first quarter is definitely going to be behind where you expect to be for the rest of the year. Those middle quarters are going to be the ones where you're going to do the most business. So we want to take a look every quarter at where you're at and how you can be improving or where you're at budget-wise, okay? So for now, we're going to talk about 2022, and we're going to walk you through these steps over the next 2 sessions. You'll have some homework this week to complete in order to be successful, all right? So today, let's go ahead and start with these 6 steps. The first one that we're going to do is we're going to talk about your want tos. So before we even get to budgeting, let's just take a minute and review what your wants are. Dream big, think about where you want to be at the end of the year, where you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. What do you want to get out of working? I mean, everybody's got to work and pay some money unless you're independently wealthy, in which case you wouldn't be here. So what are the rewards, though, of earning your paycheck beyond just paying your monthly bills? Okay, so do you want new kitchen cabinets? Do you want some retirement funds? Do you want to pay off college loans? Do you want to be able to take a 2-week vacation every year? Go ahead and write down your big dreams, all of them. Right? I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do that. You can listen to the lovely music, or you can go ahead and just pause the video, and then you can go ahead and restart this video when you are ready. You will probably have a few wants there, and I just want to make sure that those wants, you've gone beyond just paying your bills. Okay, and it's maybe something big for you. Maybe you want to travel to Europe. You want to be able to retire early. Maybe you will want to work 20 hours a week. Okay, so we're going to come back to this idea, so don't lose this page, and I really do want you to make sure that you've accomplished it. So if you cheated a little and you let the video keep playing, I want you to pause, and I really want you to think about this step. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our annual budget. Your annual budget, you're going to go through all of this. So if you're looking at your book right now, you're going to see a few pages that have like a spreadsheet kind of idea on them. I want you to just go ahead and take a moment to fill this out. All right. So as you see, I want you to make sure though that you're focused on your personal budget. So nothing that comes with work or your business, anything like that. So this is going to be, paying for your house, your electricity, your internet, your cable, all of those sort of things. Things that are just for you and your family. If you don't want to do the math, we do have an online resource, and I will make sure that I share those Google spreadsheets, but in RMBTL Drive, if you go ahead and do a search for personal budget, you'll find a spreadsheet. Go ahead and copy that to your own drive, and then you'll be able to edit it, and it'll do all the math for you. Go ahead, pause the video, and take a moment to work on these numbers. So hopefully you're done, you've come back, and I want you to go ahead and double check your numbers. I want you to make sure that you're not under budgeting for anything, okay? Because when you under budget, you're gonna really struggle if you said, "Oh, I only need $50 for groceries this week," and you end up spending 100 every week. You want to make sure that you are budgeting correctly, right? And if you haven't checked out your bank statements and pulled your receipts and looked at those sort of things, I want you to go back and do it again, okay? Because I really do want this to be as accurate as possible, okay? So if you cheated a little and you skipped ahead and you didn't pause to work on this, now is a great time for you to work on that. You'll notice that the next section is for your annual business budget expenses, all right? If you are not a first-year realtor, you're gonna take a look at what your budget was for last year. New agents, you're not going to have that same option, but you can estimate your expenses. Things like startup costs, monthly dues, money that you've spent on marketing already for like yard signs or magnets or name tags. You'll be able to look those up. It's easy to go back and record those things. Okay, so go ahead and make sure that you write those things down. You're also going to need some extra expenses here. So things like your car and your cell phone are now vital to your business. So make sure that you are budgeting in car maintenance, car washes, detailing, that sort of thing, because you're going to live in your car and you want to make sure that your phone plans, have enough data to get you through the month without having to pay any extra charges. So go ahead. I want you to take the time now to go through your personal or your business budget, please. And I'll see you back here in a couple minutes, maybe an hour, whatever it takes to get it done. And I would really recommend that you look through this one very carefully to make sure that you are budgeting correctly and you set aside enough money every month for your business. Welcome back. So you should have your personal business pages done. You should have your business budget done. So now we're going to talk about your lifestyle numbers. This particular slide may look different depending on whether you're a team member or if you are an independent agent. Based on your business numbers, it's going to look a little different depending on who is tackling most of your business bills as far as marketing and managing that sort of thing through your team, okay? This is the sheet, and you're going to take all of your numbers from the last few pages and you're going to enter them into the fields. So your annual budgeted personal expenses, your annual budgeted business expenses, and then from there you need to figure out what your net income is needed after taxes. So that's after your taxes have been pulled from your commissions. What do you need to live on? That means that you're going to take all those priority 1s and 2s and 3s that you did before, and you're going to make sure that you are covering those 1s and 2s, and maybe you got a little extra left over for those 3s where those are your wants rather than your needs. Okay. For line 4, you're going to enter a multiplier here. Okay. This is what you need to gross up your commission to cover your taxes. So this multiplier is for guidelines only. It's not for tax planning purposes, okay? But you're going to use 1.3 if your income is between $0 and $75,000 a year. You're going to use 1.35 if that income is 75 to 150,000, and you're going to use 1.4 if the line 3 is at 150,000 or up. Obviously, your tax number will change depending on how much you want to withhold, and you want to make sure that you set aside for taxes. This is a guideline. This is not going to be the actual number, but it is a good guideline. So line 5 is going to be your gross commission income that you need to fund your lifestyle. So remember, your lifestyle is going to be your personal budget, your business budget, and any of those extras that you want to start saving for. Okay? Uh, and if that number is lower than what if your income is lower than what your lifestyle number is, this is also a good place for you to review quarterly if those number threes, those priority threes, those luxury items can get cut out, or if maybe you need to wait another couple months before you add those in. All right. It's a great idea to have your goals, right? And I want you to write them down. So we're going to talk about your club level for just a minute. If you were with REMAX last year, you may have reached a club level award. Okay, if you have, like, maybe you just barely made it to the very bottom of that executive club level, you made maybe $59,000 in gross income, okay, or gross commissions. But your goal for this year, I want you to push it to the high end of that executive club level award, okay? If you hit that 100% club level this year and you're ready to step it up and hustle to reach platinum, do it. I want you to make your goal just a tiny bit out of reach, like just push it out there just a little further than you think you can. That's what makes a goal really awesome, and I want you to strive for it, okay? This is also a good time of year for you to talk to your broker about a team. If you're maxing out your income and you feel overwhelmed with the number of buyers and sellers that you have for the year, it might be a good time for you to add some team members or an admin next year. Maybe you need some assistance with social media, you need some assistance with keeping your clients happy. It's a great time for you to talk about whether or not adding a team member is going to be a good move for you. Okay? All right, let's talk about your annual financial goal next. This one is going to be a little different depending on whether or not you're an independent agent or part of a team. However, this is kind of an average look at what your annual financial goal will take a look like, will look like next year, okay? If you're new to real estate, you're not going to have numbers from this year, obviously, but you can take the average of what our agents do to kind of give you an idea of where you can be, right? So we're going to work through this page, and depending on where you're at with your budget and your lifestyle number, it might not be 100% accurate right now, but we want to get it really close, okay? So hopefully you've taken the time to do your budget, your budgeting numbers, and they're as accurate as you can get them, all right? So as we go through this sheet, I want you to go ahead and fill in those numbers. So you might have to look back and forth in your book. You're welcome to pause this video anytime and take a moment to go over those numbers or readjust things as necessary. So number one, you're going to move that lifestyle number over and you're going to put it right there in that first box. Number two is your average commission per side, which is from last year. You'll find that in the yellow bar to the right. Number three is your number of closed transactions needed for next year. So you're going to take number one, that lifestyle number, and you're going to divide it by number two, and you're going to round up to the nearest whole number. Number four is the percent of sides that you plan to be listings. Okay, because listings, we're going to have, generally speaking, you want to have at least 30% of all of your sides be listings. Okay, you can, of course, do more than that. Some people do only 100% of your sides are going to be listings. Okay, the next one, number five, number of closed listing sides needed. So we can do number three times number four, and you can round up. Number six is going to be the number of listings taken or needed for your goal. All right, we're going to assume that 75% of all of your listings are going to close. Next line, number seven, I want you to go ahead and write down the number of listing appointments you are going to need for each goal. So you're going to take number six, you're going to divide it by that 75%, and that's how many listing appointments you need to get this year to reach that goal. Number eight is going to be the number of new closed selling sides needed. Okay, so you're going to take line number five and you're going to subtract that from line number three to get how many selling sides you need. So That's how many of those listing appointments turn into actual selling sides. All right, number 9 is the number of buyers that you're going to need to work with to reach your selling side goal. So again, we're going to assume 75% close. So you're going to divide line number 8 by 0.75. Number 10 is going to be the number of clients you need to make next year's goal. Okay, so this is a really important number, and I want you to take the time to find that out. That way you can figure out how much each client is going to be worth to you, okay? So go ahead, figure that number out, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the next page when you're ready. All right, so let's talk about your daily contact target. Your daily contact target is going to be how much each one of those meetings is worth, basically. So you need to take the time to go ahead and work through this sheet, okay? This is where you're going to find your leads, okay? Where did your leads come from? You know, not every contact will become a client, but you need to track where those leads are. That way you can put more effort into that area. If you're not tracking your leads, you need to be. I want you to start that today, right now. A spreadsheet, your CRM, it doesn't matter if you have a piece of paper with a tally mark on it, but you need to be able to have this data so that you can come back to it and see the actual number of sides where you're getting those, okay? So maybe it's from your network, your sphere of influence. You're picking them up from Lead Street or your website. It's people that are calling on your signs. It could be people who are calling into the office, and you're getting office leads. If you're doing any kind of advertising, this is where you're going to be able to see that direct mail is working, okay? So you'll be able to see here an average, every contact is worth about $28,000 in commission, all right? And so, you know, if you take a look at 4 contacts per day, that could be $112,000 in gross commission if you do 4 contacts every single day, okay? So that's 50 weeks a year, working 5 days a week, all right? Making 4 contacts every day. If you make 4 contacts every single day that turn into leads, that turn into clients, that is going to mean that your gross commission is really going to soar this year, okay? When you get all done with that, I want you to take a moment and take a look at what your daily target is for the day. Your daily target might be less than 4 contacts a day. It might be more than 4 contacts a day, okay? What are you going to do to take some action and get those numbers to go up? We're going to talk more about that in the next lesson, the next business planning training session. So hang on to that idea, and we're going to talk about your homework. If you have not yet finished this video up to this page in your book where we have worked what worked last year, that is what I want you to do before you ever start business training number 2. I want you to take that budget plan, get it filled out, get it finished, and take a look at those leads. And I want you to really find that data. If it's not measurable, it's not worth it for you. All right, you want to have data that backs up what you're doing right, okay? You know, no sense in saying, oh, well, people love my ad in the church bulletin if no one ever calls you for it, okay? That's, $400, $500, $600 that is, no return on investment. We'll talk more about that next time, and finish up your homework, and I'll see you later.